Hello, my dear students. I am Professor Dipak Kumar Karmaker, Department of English, Rajbari Government College. My dear students, I hope you are all well. We are passing through a very critical situation. As you know, this is what is called pandemic situation, and for a long time our schools and colleges are closed, so you are mostly confined in your house. So you should try to utilize your time. Okay, today our topic, as you can see on the board, it's imaginary travel, unit 15, lesson 3. The students who are watching this video will be suggested to relax and take some time. This is a reading session. You see, reading should be an act of enjoyment. Don't read just for the sake of reading or memorizing. Reading is a kind of art also. In order to make your reading most beneficial, you should keep in mind certain points. For example, one thing is, try to read aloud instead of reading silently. If you read aloud, what will happen? See, one thing is, you will understand the kind of pronunciation you will have, kind of fluency in reading. And if you always read aloud and also do some recording, record your voice sometimes, and you listen to your own voice, you can see whether you are getting improved. If you see that after recording your voice you sound better, it will work as an inspiration for you. This is one thing. And another thing is, when you read, you should read slowly. Try to take note of all the new words. But if you read a very big book, your method of reading should be different. But you are concerned about a textbook, only a few chapters, so you have ample time. You can read slowly. Also, try to focus on the grammatical points, different grammars. What kinds of grammar you find, you should take note. While I'll read, I'll try to also point out some of the grammar points, grammatical sides. Today, I will read, like I said before, imaginary travel, unit 15, lesson 3. Okay, let's read. Travel can be imaginary as well. Imaginary means something not real, which exists in our imagination. We create something, in our imagination, something created in our imagination. It's called imaginary. Travel can be imaginary as well. As well means also too, an adverb. Adverbial phrase, because two words, as well. Adverbial phrase. Travel can be imaginary as well. Look at the sentence. It's evident that this sentence cannot be a beginning or introductory sentence. It means that something was said before, as this piece is not a complete story or novel or prose piece. It's just an excerpt, adaptation. This is why it may sound like this. Travel can be imaginary as well. Authors would sometimes make imaginary voyages. Authors means writers, would sometimes make imaginary, as I said, imaginary and real voyages, journey, travel by sea or in space. Imaginary voyages to strange places and draw pictures of people and places. The authors can portray the pictures of people and places. Manners and morals. Manners means their behaviors, their kinds of behaviors. Sorry. Hello, Zaman bhai, I'm to class nichi. College class nichi pore kotha bolbo. Sorry. Manners and morals. Manners means one's behavior patterns. And morals is the kind of, you see, ethical values one have. What kind of morals? The sense of good and bad. This is called moral question. Ethics, morals. What kind of morals do you have? Jonathan Swift was a writer. His lifetime was 1667 to 1745. His Gulliver's Travels, written in 1726, is an example of imaginary travel. By the way, Gulliver's Travels is a prose and a book. It's a novel, one kind of novel, written in prose, It's basically a satire. Satire means the kind of writing in which the writer tries to mock at, laugh at, ridicule certain things, certain persons, in order to make people aware of the faults found in people, in society. This is a very powerful tool, literary tool, to make people aware of something, to point out faults, flaws, shortcomings, drawbacks. Apparently, if you read a piece of satire, you will be amused, you will laugh, but after reading you will be aware, well, there is certain this. You will be aware of the faults of the characters, and also you will discover the same faults, you may discover the same faults in yourself. Swift created a fictional is again something which is not real. It's invented by a writer. Fiction is the story which are characters which do not exist in reality, in real life. Fictional traveler, it's also called imaginary traveler, named Lemuel Gulliver. This fictional traveler's name is Gulliver, Lemuel Gulliver, briefly Gulliver. A sheep doctor is a sheep doctor who visited the lands of the lily pads and Brobdingnags. So Gulliver visited these lands, of course, like I said, it's an imaginary travel. Lands of Lilliput and Brobdingnags and the island of Laputa. So these are the places which Lemuel Gulliver visited. These are all fictitious places. Fictitious, again, these are unreal. Inhabited by imaginary people. So these are the imaginary lands in which live imaginary people. The travels here, however, carry a serious purpose. Please take note of the use of however. In writing, however can be used in place of but. For producing good writing, we should try to follow certain rules. One of these is to avoid but. You see, when you write, there is something which matters a lot, which is the sound effect, the kind of words you use. Everybody loves sweet, melodious sound. Nobody loves harsh, bitter sounding sounds. Of course, sometimes it's necessary in, say, dramas or movies, in order to portray someone who is really harsh, then the dramatist or the author put the harsh words into the mouth of that particular character. That's a different thing. Usually we try to avoid harsh sounding words, jarring notes. So but is such a word. So whenever you have but, try to use however instead of but. The travels here, however, carry a serious purpose. Gulliver's Travels as a book has different qualities. One thing is, it's very amusing. It's a great source of entertainment, no doubt. If you read it, you will feel great. You see, it was a fun, amusement. On the other hand, it's not simple fun. It has a very profound message and meaning inside. So, the travels here, however, carry a serious purpose. They reveal, what's the purpose? They reveal truths about human nature. Truths about human nature. It's really difficult to understand human nature. Why? Because, can you guess the kind of nature I have, the kind of character I am, what I have inside my mind, in my mind? No, it's very difficult because human beings, we often lie. There is the difference between what is called appearance and reality. You look so nice, good, but in your mind, you are very bad, you have very bad thoughts. This is why it's not very easy to comprehend human nature. Many people are so hypocrite. Often they keep their real nature hidden. This is why it's very important to know about human nature, the truths, real nature. They reveal truths about human nature. For example, even today, human life is poisoned. Poisoned means destroyed, poisoned, plagued, destroyed, troubled, disturbed, polluted by evils, something bad, evil, which brings harms to us, called evil. For example, too much greed is an evil. Anger, it's an evil. Hatred, an evil. By evils, such as, what are the evils mentioned here? Such as racism. Racism is the kind of hatred towards the members of a particular certain community, especially minority or marginalized community, people. Hatred. This is called racism. And also at the same time, too much love for one's own race while hating people of other race. This is called racism. We have religious extremism. Extremism is too much, excessive zeal for something, too much. It's good that you love your religion, but if it's excessive, I mean to the extent or point that you cannot tolerate any kind of violation of religious rule or people of other religions, that it becomes extremism. Bigotry, obstinance, very much obstinate, adamantine nature, this is called bigotry. Gulliver, during his visit to the land of the Lilliputians, well, who are the Lilliputians? The Lilliputians, who are humans. The inhabitants of Lilliput are humans, only about 6 inches tall. Only 6 inches. Can you guess? 6 inches. Discover how strongly. So Gulliver discovered. You may see the head word is Gulliver. It's a long sentence, and we have what is called parentheses. When a sentence is kept between two dashes, it's kind of brackets. When you say something extra, something additional, this is called parentheses. Gulliver, during his visit to the land of the Lilliputians, who were humans only about 6 inches tall, appositives, there is another word, grammar. Appositives. If you have to say some quality, some adjective, is called shorter one, appositives, but longer one is in parentheses, bracket, dash, 2 dashes. Discover. What does Gulliver discover? How strongly prejudiced. Prejudice is some kind of dislike, negative attitude towards something which don't have much ground or foundation. don't have much logic, but you dislike something. This is called, prejudice. Strongly prejudiced. These people, these Lilliputians, were strongly prejudiced. The Lilliputians are about certain things. And how these help nurse hatred. This is a kind of vicious cycle or circle. They have these prejudice in turn nurses hatred. It helps grow hatred in your mind towards that particular object on which you project your prejudice, so to say, and foment fratricidal war. Foment, incite, encourages, instigates fratricidal war. Fratricide means killing of brothers or killing of people of the same community, same country. This is called fratricide. So, for fratricidal war, in other words, you can say civil war, when people engage in or are locked in battles or wars within the same country, then it is fratricidal war, or you can say civil war. Gulliver, a man of average height means not any of any special height, not too short, not too long, but average height, gets a new insight. Insight means new kind of knowledge into the pettiness of human nature. Pettiness, meanness, narrowness of human nature. How petty, how narrow human nature can be, or human beings can be. When he arrives at the land of Lilliputs, when he reached the land of Lilliputs, who are small not only in size but also in their thoughts and perceptions. Okay, shall I end it? Okay, dear students, I like to end this session today but of course, I will take it up, resume the same thing in my next class. Please listen to this, my lecture, carefully, and I'll be very happy if you leave some comment in the comment box. Okay, take care. Bye for today.